Hey there, Mr. Johnson. It is Thursday, March 22nd. I guess you're right that I'm a little bit overly critical of myself in terms of my own material desires. However, I think that being a pack rat is indicative of assigning too much value to material goods. That being said, I'm also just overly critical of myself in general. I am always on a constant trek of self-improvement, which is a hallmark of my myers-briggs personality type. A myers-briggs personality type, for those of you in the audience who don't know, I think Tim knows because I think we've talked about this, but for those of you who don't know, Myers-Briggs personality type gives you 4 letters that basically describe who you are and what kind of habits you tend to have, both good and bad. My personality type is and always has been INFJ. It's the rarest of all personality types, but strangely enough, most of my friends tend to be INFJs. INFJs are very introverted people who always try to improve what they can do and therefore have a long list of projects. Mine right now are exercising, studying Korean, studying German again, you know, everything that I like to do. But I do tend to have a full plate, and one of the things that INFJs do when they have a full plate and get too stressed out is actually turn all of that stress into health problems. Which is why I've had reflux for the last 10 years. Also the source of a lot of my anxiety problems during college. Well, there were other sources to that, but you know, we're not going to talk about that right now. Another thing that INFJs are known for is, on the surface, being somebody who doesn't quite make sense. They have all of these kind of opposing interests, which is how I kind of ended up being such an eclectic person. But inside an INFJ's mind, it all makes sense. One of the things that I actually relate to most about the INFJ personality type is that I just have a great intuition about myself. I always know what I want and can basically just accept the fact that that's what I want and will just go after it without any real, like, strong driving force, but rather just like, it's right, and so this is what I have to do. Tim, I would actually like to know what your personality type is, because I know we've talked about it, but I don't think we've had an in-depth conversation about what that means, and I'm genuinely curious. So for you and those of you in the audience who are interested, I'll put a link in the description to a quiz you can take, and then a link to what that means about you. I'll put XXXX where you're supposed to put your personality type, so you can just copy and paste your personality type there and fill it in and find out what that means. I'm curious to see what everybody has to say about it, and with that, Tim, I will see you tomorrow.